Hello and welcome. I'm KJ and this is Swiley.
Welcome back again.
You're listening to UnMaddening, where we unpack the madness of society one exclusive word at a time.
I like your descriptions for these, unpacking the maddening. Exclusive.
So there's a little bit of an explanation as to how I came across this word. And I still don't know how to pronounce it correctly, what the actual word is, but we'll get into that. I was reading a book that the matriarch had recommended. It's called Wifedom, and it was this Australian author, Anna Funder, and the book is this investigation into the wife of George Orwell. And you know I love George Orwell. Anyway, it was an interesting read, and I'm reading through it, and on page 68 there's this sentence that says, quote, "My friend was in a relationship with an old rock star, a man whose fame united a subculture of smacked out, leather-clad," this is the word, cognoscenti. And I was like, what's cognoscenti? And was exaggerated in his own mind.
So that cognoscenti word that neither of us know how to pronounce
Yes.
goes alongside the smacked out.
Yeah, and leather-clad, and they're a famous person, and they're up themselves. Right, that was the context of that sentence. Yeah. But still, I wanted to, you Googleize, what does this word actually mean? And there's a little bit of a debate on how to pronounce it, because in your Googleizing how to pronounce said word, numerous pronunciations come up as the examples of how you're supposed to say it. So there's one like where you say cognoscenti as the British pronunciation. And then there was also one that said cognoscenti, and a third one that dropped the G altogether, so it was like cognoscenti.
Cognoscenti.
Oui. I'm not sure where that one comes from. But I think for the purposes of our discussion today, maybe we'll go with cognoscenti.
Yep.
And if that's wrong and you're more clever than we, please feel free to tell us how you use it in your general conversation, because it's not a word that I have ever used in conversation before, nor have I heard anyone else speak it. So I'm not sure how to do it. And that's much of what we do with language, right? You hear somebody else pronounce a thing and then you repeat the way that they pronounced it, whether it's right or wrong. You just
And I suppose one of the other ways to sort of go back to it is if you go back to the Latin and break it down of what this word means, which we've done a few times.
Cultures, we change those things. That's how we got those three different examples. Like this one particular one was saying drop the G. This one's saying that the SC in the word should be a sh sound. The other one's saying the SC should just be an S sound. Science is just an S sound, and that's an SC. Anyway, cognoscenti is what we're going to go with.
Cognoscenti.
So I had a little bit of context from the writer in that paragraph or sentence regarding the bloke she was talking about.
Yeah, right.
But what does it mean? Cognoscenti refers to people with high-level knowledge, refined taste, or expert understanding of a specific field, especially the arts, literature, or fashion. It is a plural noun originating from Italian and Latin, denoting those in the know. So in its context, it's implying a knowledgeable, often exclusive inner circle. There's a couple of usage examples. It says, "Not being one of the cognoscenti, I failed to understand the ballet's subtler points." Or, "The hotel is considered a classic by architectural cognoscenti." So we've got a bit of an idea of it in use.
Cognoscenti word, is it those in the know as in a social sense? You're in the know, you're part of the in crowd, or is it in the know as far as you're very learned or knowledgeable?
I think it's a little bit of both. It seems to be that you maybe have very refined comprehension of a specific topic that is considered to be one of those things, like the literature or the arts or whatever.
So you could be considered part of I'm saying in finger quotes here, I'm doing them.
Inner circle.
Where you're a bunch of learned men that come to discuss future topics.
This sounds interesting. Synonyms for cognoscenti are connoisseurs, experts, and you know how I feel about them. I trust them with every fibre of my being. Authorities, aficionados, specialists, virtuosos, and buffs. Okay. Antonyms for cognoscenti, these words focus on ignorance, lack of expertise, or being uncultured. The strongest antonyms are ignoramus, philistine, lowbrow, and amateur. Other opposites include materialist, referring to those lacking appreciation for fine arts or specialised knowledge.
Oh, right.
Which is kind of what you were saying there, hey? Like, what kind of cognoscenti are we referring to here?
Yes.
I think if you are one of the ones in the know of the know, then
You already know what that word means.
yeah, right. Unlike ourselves who have to figure out how to pronounce.
If you're part of the in crowd, you already know. If you know, you know.
Oh dear. Contextual antonyms for cognoscenti for the masses, general public, implying a lack of specialised taste or knowledge. And that's where you have to go to the cognoscenti, the experts, because they will guide you. They'll tell you what to think and how you should move next. Don't worry.
Yeah, you got to tell these commoners how to think.
Yeah. In the Urban Dictionary, cognoscenti is a person with superior, usually specialised knowledge or highly refined taste, a connoisseur. And the example sentence for that one is, he is a cognoscenti when it comes to French wines. So it's a very niche thing that we're using them for in these aspects, but that was just one example.
Yeah.
It's also on the Urban Dictionary listed as being a luxury four-door full-size sedan in GTA 4
Oh, right.
and 5. And there's a whole write-up about it for GTA, which everyone's still waiting for the next one, whenever that'll be. Right, current news. Cognoscenti, we have a bit of an understanding. I've probably pronounced it wrong 40 times so far in the last
matter.
however many minutes.
I'm
Cognoscenti
sure the cognoscenti people will tell you how to pronounce it.
No, they won't. They'll just deep fake me or something. Cognoscenti conspiracies, often associated with conspiracy theories regarding a deep state, finger quote, primarily depicted in something called the Fire Risers, a covert technocratic ruling class. They represent an elite group, often likened to the World Economic Forum. Jinx. Controlling governments to establish a new world order through surveillance, digital control, and mass deception. Surely not.
No, I've never been deceived once.
There's a couple of
That's a big cloud of deception there.
dot points underneath there. The conspiracy concepts. You've got technological control. They are associated with controlling humanity through advanced technology, including neurolingual plagues and surveillance, often collaborating with organisations like WEF. And the quote, all conspiracies are true. The path often embodies the trope that popular, far-fetched conspiracy theories, such as alien intervention, are real, using them to create a perfectly controlled passive society. Okay, so these cognoscenti, these are the group that are termed those in the know. So I did ask the interweb for some individual examples, and it says for those that are on that term in the know,
right?
Who is
So
in
what does
the
AI
know?
let on?
Exactly. What are they willing to tell
What
you
are
about
they
who
allowed
is
to?
in the
It'd
know?
be very much a whole list of past and well and truly long gone people that were
Wait for the
in
first
the
fella
know.
on the list, mate. Often include individuals with deep access to political, technological, or industry-specific information, or those who have built immense influence through specialised knowledge or network connections. Based on, it does specify, based on public perception, business and media prominence, here are some individuals often considered to be in the know. Right. Bill Gates, under the banner of business and technology insiders. Elon Musk. And then they throw Ashton Kutcher in there.
All right.
And Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder. Yep, they're in the list there. Under the line of media and cultural influences of being those in the know, the cognoscenti in that category are Oprah Winfrey, Kim Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner.
Right.
So these are the approved ones.
These are approved ones.
Yeah. Political and elite insiders, Barack Obama, and the Clinton family as a whole.
I've heard the Clinton family's name punched around a bit before. in terms of the elite. That also
the
was
cognoscenti. It's so hard to see the amount of finger quotes that we do. You guys just have to understand, just feel the vibe. Specialised and niche knowledge people that are in the know or cognoscenti You've got Mayim Bialik, and it does explain her acting career and her being a neuroscientist and a thought leader. Ken Jeong, former medical doctor turned comedian, and Giorgio I can't pronounce the surname, I'm sorry, it's Greek, Tsoukalos, who is a prominent figure in the ancient alien theory.
Oh,
Anyway, all of those in the list there above in the different categories, it says these individuals are generally considered in the know due to their high visibility, vast networks, and roles in pioneering or leading their respective industries.
That's pretty easy.
Any of those I listed that you want to break down, or you just want to leave them all alone?
I'm just going to leave them all alone. Make your own decision there.
So I then looked up, if you're not in the know, what are you? Because, we like to look at the other side of the coin here. There's two sides to it. If you are not in the know, you are generally considered out of the loop, uninformed, or unaware of specific information, context, or social nuances.
Also known as a mushroom.
Muppet?
I said mushroom, not muppet.
This often means you are in a position where others may define your reality, leading to a lack of authentic self-expression. It can stem from identity diffusion, leading to a weak sense of self and confusion. That is very interesting that you would allow other people to define your reality, but I think that happens
it's constant. It's a thing that we're all running around going, mana.
You're told what to think and told how you're supposed to feel. Susceptible to external influences. Without personal knowledge of a situation, you are susceptible to others telling you what to think or believe. So maybe facts check. A follower, not a leader. You are in a position where you might adapt to the desires of others to find a sense of belonging rather than directing your own life. Operating on autopilot. You might be living by other standards or focusing solely on tasks, titles, and productivity rather than internal purpose. It says experiencing life gaps. You may feel lost or, as described, like a fish trying to climb a tree, often experiencing regret. Or you may also be feeling like the outsider. I don't mind being the outsider. In social or professional contexts, you are the person who lacks context or insider information, often appearing behind the times. Just on the outside a bit. I don't mind being the outsider because often you look around at people that are in the room with you and you think, what you guys have swallowed, I don't want that.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm okay being the outsider.
In the context that you were referring to there, you're an outsider because you're not part of the in the know crowd.
I'm not in the
and
Cognoscenti.
You're being told what to do by the in known crowd.
And I don't want to do what I'm told. Just ask my parents.
Yeah, but so if you're not doing as you're told, are you Cognoscenti in the opposite right? Do you know? Are you in the know? But not part of the
When you're not in the know, I think you're looking at it all and going, I can see there's something suspicious here and you're not giving me the right information. You're telling me how to feel and how to be and how to live and what to do and how much money I have to pay and so on.
So that goes to my main point of where there's a lot of people that aren't in the know.
Mm-hmm.
And they follow the rules and go along like good sheep. But is it because they're doing it because they're out of the loop, or are they doing it because they're out of options? That's probably the thought there that I was sort of going with.
Or if you get beaten down for long enough, where if you had an opinion that was slightly different to the masses, then you don't want to keep doing that, right?
If you live in a communist country, you don't speak up because there's consequences for that. So you just go along. You might not agree, but you just go along.
Or it's the pluralistic ignorance. You're too worried that if you do say something out loud that you will be shunned by everybody else.
Exactly,
and now you are an outsider, not by choice, but it's been forced upon you.
Just a bit of food for thought while we're talking about this.
It says at the end of that bit there, in essence, not being in the know, not being part of the cognoscenti, is a state of living in the dark, where you are vulnerable to others' projections or a lack of direction. So the moral of the story is what there, Swells? Get knowledge, get wisdom, get control. It seems to be from that list of the well-known people up the top there.
What would you rather be? Would you rather be the mushroom living in the shadow and not knowing and not understanding, or would you
Oh,
rather
is that
just
why you're talking about
create?
mushrooms? Because they're growing in the dark. I mean, some cool stuff does happen in the dark. Bacteria,
Well, yes.
antivirus.
Go on.
Wait, I don't want to get stuck on that. Okay, so if we don't have the access to the cognoscenti, however you want to pronounce it, there's a great verse in Proverbs. Proverbs 4 verse 7, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. And hopefully we're trying to seek that from, not from the cognoscenti around the outside of us or whatever the mass is all screaming about. That's probably the opposite of what you should be looking at.
Yeah, there's only one that is all-knowing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, vintage culture appreciation regarding cognoscenti. I looked up 100 years ago. What were the cognoscenti 100 years ago focusing their attention on? It's a lot more, well, at a glance, nice for society than what the cognoscenti seem to be doing now. In the 1920s, the cognoscenti, who are the intellectuals, the artists, and the cultural elites, they're focusing on exploring the rapid modernisation of society, the disillusionment following World War I, and the creation of new artistic and cultural forms. This period, often called the Jazz Age or Roaring Twenties, saw a focus on experimentation and a break from traditional Victorian values. Key topics of focus for the cognoscenti 100. I've swapped again to shanty now. I don't know which to do. It just comes out.
The senti or the shanty?
It's very difficult. Somebody tell me the answer.
Is it if two of them in one place? Is it shantai?
Maybe. Key topics of focus in the 1920s included the lost generation. So we're thinking here about writers and thinkers that were focused on the moral, social, and cultural disillusionment following the First World War, exploring themes of decadence, cynicism, and lost ideals, famously documented in works like The Great Gatsby, which is still very popular of a book. Modernism in arts and literature. So there was a rise in Art Deco, Surrealism. It says the artistic, musical, and literary circles were heavily engaged in challenging traditional aesthetics and embracing new styles like jazz. The Harlem Renaissance. Intellectuals focused on the flourishing of African American culture, literature, and art, led by figures such as Langston Hughes and W.E.B. Du Bois. And mass media and the spectacle is also in here for 100 years back. Intellectuals and cultural critics began to examine the profound impact of emerging mass media, including radio, cinema, and newspapers. The decade saw the birth of Hollywood and the frenzy of the visible, with film emerging as a new art form worthy of study. That's when they really started to actually, from a what's the term, like a philosophy perspective, view what people were doing with film, and it's not just silent stuff, and they're using it to express themselves.
Well, it's a bit like the trolley problem, though, isn't it? I mean, you're throwing out these films, and it's a new form of desensitising people and pushing political agenda. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it good or is it bad?
Oh, look, it is good because it's art and it's free
Pick a
speech, and you're allowed to make whatever stuff you want to make as long as you're not breaking any laws. Go nuts. But whether or not you allow it to influence your own personal choices is a different thing. Like, what did Eminem say? Like, just because I sang this in a song doesn't mean that I'm actually going to go out and do it, and it's not my fault that your kid did. Yeah. Like, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Anyway, it says this period was a golden time for art, literature, and music, marked by a renewed sense of positivity. I mean, you would hope so after that horrific World War that existed amidst the cultural battles of the era. So was it a better or worse time? It kind of sounds like it was a nicer time off the cuff, but you'd have to be living in both of those spaces simultaneously to be able to compare the two. I mean, the First World War wasn't very nice, was it?
Nor has any other war after been.
No, but we're just looking at those points of what the people in the know at that time were focusing their attention on seems a lot less self-serving and manipulative and nasty than what the in the know crowd are doing today.
Yes.
But yeah, it's apples and oranges.
Apples and oranges. You don't know what the underlying reason or agenda was.
No,
It's just,
not at all.
Like I said, food for thought. It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, something for the old noggin to mull over. Just random thoughts for when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, on that note, Swells,
Fun as always.
that's enough of that. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time with another word I can't pronounce, maybe.
Yes, maybe.
Actually, I think the next one I can pronounce.
You can pronounce
I
this
think
one.
so, yeah.
You'll have to tell me how to pronounce it.
No, you'll be right.
right.
Until then, God bless and peace out.
This content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. We're not virtuosos, philistines, pastors or politicians. You are not more likely to suck less or try harder having listened to these shenanigans.